This is a story by Mike Lott. So when I was 22 years old back in the 90s, two of my a-hole buddies and I went to New Orleans to party down for a week. We were poor, so we stayed like 45 minutes away in Slidell. I had just gotten a credit card in the mail 2 days before we left, so I had money, and my DICK friends did not, so I paid for a rental car. A red Mustang GT. It was BA and fast as F compared to my SHITTY Buick at home. We did lots of burnouts in it. Anyways, about the fourth night there, we decided to go to the bar, Pat O'Brien's. We got there around 9 p.m. and had to wait in line for like 3 hours to get in. While we were in line, we met these three girls from Texas or some SHIT. They were cute as HELL. One of them was totally my type. So I pulled out the old charm box and started telling this BS story of how I was pre-med back home and played college football for the Akron Zips. They bought it. Probably because mostly I was buying them drinks while we were in line. Anyways, it was going awesome. While we were almost inside, I bought this girl a dozen roses from street guys selling flowers, and I really thought I was in like heck. Well, HELL. So we get inside, and we all sit together at a big table for 6. They had dueling pianos, and the music was awesome. They even took a picture of us that I paid for, and I still have it somewhere in my closet. We sat and drank hurricanes for about 3 hours and got totally effed up. The girl I was into was on my lap. We were kissing and drunk, and she smelled like tobacco and cherries. Probably from the lipstick or balm she was wearing and the cigarettes, but it was awesome. So at about this time, my a-hole friend Jalopy, we call him Jalopy because he always made fun of my SHITTY car back home, calling it a jalopy. He loved that effing word and he said it so GD much that the nickname just stuck. So this effer out of nowhere just decided he was going to tell this gorgeous girl sitting on my lap that everything I said earlier about being pre-med and playing football was BS, and that I was actually only a security guard and that he was my supervisor. Now while this was true, I'm not sure why he thought at that GD moment it was necessary to come clean with my story. Maybe he thought I was stealing all of his kisses and that it should have been him getting the lovin'. Or maybe he was just an a-hole. So this kind of weirded the girls out, and they didn't really know what to do with these newfound facts that I was just a loser from Ohio with a credit card. So they said goodbye. The 3 of us left the bar. I was so effing drunk and mad. Now at some point during the evening, Jalopy had acquired the keys to the Mustang. And him and my other a-hole friend decided that since I was yelling at them, that they had had enough. They left me alone at 4 a.m. in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. After 12 to 15 hurricanes and having my heart broke, I was alone. Almost blackout drunk and still horny as HELL. So roaming through the crowd, I met some guy who was like, "Hey man, you have a cigarette?" I'm not really sure what he said, but it was some kind of question just to engage me. I'm sure he saw how drunk I was and saw me as an easy target. He and I roamed the streets of Bourbon Street for a while, and while we were coming out of some GAY country western bar, he said he had to PISS, and he wanted me to go into this alley with him to watch his back while he PISSED. I thought it was some kind of GAY thing, so I said no. I'm not going back there in that weird dark ASS effing alley with you. He continued to try to get me to go in there with him, but I didn't want to S his D or whatever, so I was pretty determined to not go. He said, "Okay, well I'm gonna go back there, just stand here and guard the front of the alley then." I was so freaked out about this, so I just left. So now, 15 minutes later, I found myself alone again on Bourbon Street, without any way to get back to that SHITTY Slidell motel 45 minutes away. There were no cell phones back then, so I saw a payphone and hit 0. The operator came on, and I tried to get her to connect me via collect call to the hotel we were staying at, so I could get these a-holes to come back to get me. After 5 minutes of drunken blathering BS, the operator hung up on me. I didn't know the name of the hotel. All I knew was that it was over a huge bridge in Slidell. I was so nervous that I was now going to just live on Bourbon Street, and I had no idea how to get anywhere. HOOKER asked me if I needed someone to help drink a bottle of spiced wine I had bought from my mom back home and had been holding in a paper bag this whole time. I said no. She was not pretty, and I could see her chest bones. It was gross. I finally found and convinced a taxi driver to take me to Slidell, and helped me look for the hotel we stayed at. He said it would be $80 cash. Now, I didn't have any $80 cash in me, but I lied and said I would give him $100 if he just helped me get to the hotel. He had an idea of the area I was talking about, I guess, when I said it was over a huge bridge in Slidell. After getting to Slidell, the taxi driver woke me up and said, "Does any of these motels look familiar?" After 15 minutes of driving around, we miraculously found it. I said to the taxi driver to stay right here and I would be right back. I bolted around the back of the motel to try to get away from him, but he was fast. He caught me at my door trying to get in. My a-hole friends finally answered the door, and I told them to pay the taxi driver for the ride here. They didn't have the money either, and after 30 minutes of arguing, the two of them came up with some of the money and had to get a cash advance from the motel clerk for the rest. The taxi driver left, and I beat the SHIT out of Jalopy. The rest of the trip was weird and not fun. The plane ride home was awkward, and to this day we have not spoke. I'm sure there are some details I'm forgetting right now, but that is all for now. The End, by Mike Lott. Thank you, Mike Lott. I was 22 back in the 90s, up in Ohio's where you could find me. But I'm headed down to New Orleans, and I got two of my friends beside me. We were poor, so we were staying out in Slidell, and I had just got my credit card in my mail. So I got us a rental car that went real fast and drove real far. It was a red Mustang GT, way nicer than my Buick from 1983. It was BA, fast as what I'm feeling hot, and I'm looking for love. So we head down to Pat O'Brien's, and I spot some girls as we stand in line, and I tell this cute girl that I'm pre-med. I could have told her the truth, but I lied instead. Cause I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that gives meds away. I'm a self-proclaimed doctor like Dr. Dre. In New Orleans, I'm just trying to get some love today, and I'll admit it when I say I lied to her. I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that does surgery. I transformed her to a doctor so she flirt with me. Now I know it won't be long before she's deserting me, cause she gon' find out certainly I lied to her. I'm not a real doctor. Now everything is going great. I'm Dr. Love Jones, and I found my date, plus I play college football. That's why she chose us, so I buy this girl a dozen roses, and we sat down at a table for 6, and I pay some man to come take our pick. There's a couple guys playing dueling pianos, about to find my love down in Louisiana, and we sat and drank hurricanes for a few more hours till we're going insane. She was sitting on my lap and she's kissing me drunk. It smells like tobacco and cherries, and I'm falling in love. Is it the lip balm she's wearing, her cigarettes, the whole room spinning round me and over my head, when all of a sudden my best friend Jalopy says I'm not a real doctor, I'm only a copy. So I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that gives meds away. I'm a self-proclaimed doctor like Dr. Dre. In New Orleans, I'm just trying to get some love today, and I'll admit it when I say I lied to you. I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that does surgery. I transformed into a doctor so you flirt with me, and I knew it wouldn't be long for you deserting me, cause you will find out certainly I lied to you. I'm not a real doctor. Now the girls are creeped out, so they're walking away, and I'm mad at it, heck, I got nothing to say. My best friend sold me out, my whole life is a lie. Yeah, I just told these girls I'm a regular guy. Oh, irregular guys don't get love from girls like you. Yeah, regular guys don't get love from girls like you. Then my friends left me alone in New Orleans. They're mad cause I'm screaming and drunk off of 10 hurricanes. Jim Beam on his breath. There's something in my gut, it tells me this man, yeah, he's looking for sex. He's probably already got 20 victims, and I'm about to be his next. So I run like the wind down Bourbon Street. Yes, I run with the speed of a bear. I hear whistles from bystanders as I pass by, and the wind, well, it jostles my hair. I look over my shoulder, the old man is closer. He's quick, yeah, he's gaining some ground. Now he finally up on my heels as he grabs for my coat and he spins me around. He says, young man, please don't be scared, for I am your friend. I abandoned my young son Jalopy when he was just 10. And I've searched high and low for Jalopy ever since then. And my search for Jalopy's brought me to New Orleans again. Then Jalopy comes round the corner in that red Mustang. As he spots the old man, I can see his eyes well up with pain. Yeah, he says, Dad, you look older, but somehow you look the same. The old man says, no, son, no. I've got a sickness deep down in my soul, broken hearted since the day that I left. I can't get this weight up off of my chest. I've got heart disease and gum disease, and I've got lice and I've got fleas. I've got HIVs and malaria, and I think I've got diphtheria, and I get migraines every day, so I pop pills to stop my pain, but the guilt don't ever go away. No, I don't go a single day without regret for what I've done. I left behind my only son, Jalopy. Don't you know your daddy loves you? And then the old man turns to me and asks me, could I help him, please? He heard I was a doctor. Oh no, I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that gives meds away. I'm a self-proclaimed doctor like Dr. Dre. In New Orleans, I'm just trying to get some love today. And I'll admit it when I say I lied to her. I'm not a real doctor, not the kind that does surgery. I transformed into a doctor so she flirt with me. And I knew it won't be long before she deserted me, cause she will find out certainly I lied to her. I'm not a real doctor.